Hi guys, Autumn here today to do my September weekly wrap up week 3. I know I said in my last video that I would do a Love Profound book review, but I actually only read 2 books this week, so I figured I would just do a more detailed talk about that book and the other book I read. So yeah. So the first book I read was Love Profound by Kelly Elliott. This came out on Tuesday, the 19th. This is the second book in Cowboy and Angel series. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. This is Amelia's story, and she is a writer, and she is also the baby in this story. Baby of the family, and yeah, so this book follows Amelia, who actually goes to New York for the weekend to visit her sister Waylon, and there she meets an a actor who is doing the audiobook of one of her stories, and they hook up while she's in New York. And then when she's in New York, her sister Waylon finds out that her husband is cheating on her, and they decide to leave New York early and go back to their hometown. And then at her hometown, she meets Wade, who is one of her brother's best friends and a new employee for their ranch. And they meet and stuff happens, and yeah, that's pretty much all I want to tell you without spoiling it. But I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoy Kelly Elliott. If you've watched my channel, you know she's one of my favorite authors. And you in this one you do get a sneak peek of the next book in the series, which comes out early next year. You also get a preview of Amelia's historical book that is actually Kelly Elliott is writing and planning to publish in 2018. So that's pretty cool. And I'm excited to continue on with the Cowboy and the Angel series. I really enjoy this series and Amelia's book. You have to read this series in order, because book 1, you see the characters, the couple in book 1 in this one, so it's very important that you read this series in order. Like most of her books series, you have to read them in order. So sorry, I'm tired, but yes, that is Love Profound. Then the second book I read was If There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This came out on October 5th. So another new release that I actually read this month. And this is a YA book that follows Lena. This isn't like a romance book. This is more of like a grief, loss, and like coming of age story book, and there is romance in it, but it's not like a full-on YA contemporary romance. But as I said, this follows Lena, who made a decision, and a mistake followed that decision, and this book is just her living with that decision, and how it affected her, and the people around her. And this was very heartbreaking. Sorry. And it kind of hit a little bit close to home to me, just because like some of the circumstances kind of hit close to home with me. I don't want to say why, because I don't want to spoil it, but just some of them hit a little close home to me, because I kind of dealt with that this past year a little bit. Not like the same thing, but kind of the same thing. And yeah, I don't want to talk about it because it wasn't me who was affected by it. It was someone I know. Like, so it's kind of the same thing, but not really. But yes. Sorry. And as I said, this is just about a lesson in loss and how loss affects everyone, and grief, and just affects different people. And you never really notice how grief is going to affect you until it happens, and how loss affects you. But yes, I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. And I thought it was very beautifully written and very well done, like, storyline and stuff. And I love the cover. And yeah, I'm sorry I'm not going into much detail about this, but I feel like this book is better not knowing about what it's going to be until you read it, because there's some stuff that I could spoil, and I don't want to do that. So yes, 3.5 out of 5. And those are the 2 books I read this week. I know it's a little less than I usually read, but this week was crazy. Sorry. But with both of these books, I'm at 151. This was my 151 books that I've read this year, which is really good. So I'm okay with that, only reading 2 books. So next week I'm going to shoot to read a little more, but my goal was to read, for the year, was to read 2 books each week, which I accomplished. So yeah. What did you guys read this week? And if you read any of these books, what did you think of them? And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.